Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. We are at the Norwegian Sea today, starting off in the 34, just trying to catch some bait fish, maybe some trophies. I'm trying to get some, mackerels, and or some smaller saithes. I'm out of fillets. We are at the 34 meter. I'll show you the setup here in just a second. How are you guys today? Hopefully you're doing well. Appreciate you stopping by. Little sculpin. So I've been fishing for a few minutes here. Got a little turbo, which is good. 11 kg cod, which is a little scary, and then one small saithe. Again, starting off at the 34 meter. Here's the setup, just a small lurker, no fillet, shrimp, tiny fish, and another shrimp here. This one's a little larger. This is the small one, this is the 15. So again, at the 35 meter to start off with. May move over to 41 here, depending on how it goes. All right. 50K XP. I think a trophy is 7. If you're not sure, guys, you can type in RF4 stats. There's a fishing catching statistics. You click on that, you go to the right, there'll be a trophy weight. Click on your trophy weight. And then you scroll down to spiny dogfish. If I could spell. 7 kg. So that wasn't too far off from a trophy. That would have been a nice little surprise. What did we catch him on? A tiny fish. Very nice. He'll be worth anything that's worth that much XP is probably also decent on the silver. He'll be a good silver. He'll be some good silver. I've already made about 1,100 to 1,200 silver on this boat ticket, and I've still got a little over an hour left on it. I usually buy 5-hour tickets just to. I usually will try to get 3 different trips or 2 different trips. There's another nice fish, a pollock. We are on that sea grind. I did spend some money when I came over here, but I'm already back up to 18.2. We're up about 800 after buying an additional 5-day ticket. And again, so we've got about 6 hours IRL, 6 days in game left to fish on the boat tickets I've already purchased. Which, depending on how I do, will probably be up around 2,500 silver for those for those, 6 hours, 6 days in game. Um, 1 second here. This is kind of what I shoot for. Just like I set myself little goals. Obviously, you're trying to do the best you can just to keep catching fish, and you really can't control trophies and stuff. But that's what I'm looking for is this. But if you look here, if I'm at 18.2, I want to be at about 20,000 to 20,005, maybe even 21,000 silver at the end of these 2 bow tickets. So that's the goal. Now you might have some bad hours. I mean, it's definitely a possibility where you can have some hours where you just don't make the silver you want. That does happen, but you just try to average it out. You can catch one trophy. I mean, you're probably not going to catch a wreck fish on this setup, but you can catch fish worth over 1,000 silver on the sea. Again, maybe not with this setup, but there's a little sorry. Unfortunately, it's a non-marker. Also, with this setup, it's you can catch a lot of stuff on the drop, so you got to kind of be ready to go. Like me looking at stuff during the drop is probably not a great idea with this setup, because you can just get tagged a lot on the drop. A lot of your mackerels and your pollocks and your sace will hit on the drop. There is a fish that you're trying to avoid these or any non-marker really, but the little turbo is going to be decent XP too. The spiny dogfish will be good XP. The pollock or good silver. The pollock will be good silver. There's again another real small one here. Whiting, 4,000 XP. At least it's a marker. It was a small one, but it's a marker. There's one on the drop. This could be a little mackerel or another soury. Or a trophy, 53,000 XP. There we go. That's how we do, baby. That'll get you pumped up. I probably already had that, but that still may be bigger. We'll go ahead and stop this here for now. You go to stats, guys, and go to trophies. You can click on the C. I don't know if I had that or not. If I didn't, that was still bigger. We got a fish while I was off here. Now we can look at. Now you can torture yourself. We got a trophy. Now I can look at what was the blue tag. So 701 was a trophy, is what we got. And I already forgot. Alright, so it's an Atlantic soury. Okay, I was having trouble finding it. Okay. 600's a trophy, 750's a blue tag. 600's a trophy. 750's a blue tag. Alright, we're getting these saiths in, which is great because I want to get some bigger fillets here. And guys, if you don't want to go in the bottom, like let's say you're using a small setup like this, a shrimp setup, and you're trying to avoid cusks and shorthorn sculpins, there's a way to avoid those, and I'll show you here in just a second. So here's a sculpin. I'm trying to not catch these, right? All you got to do, if you're using a shrimp setup, is stop it at 15, 20. And you can just sit there and catch a fish. It will happen, as you've seen earlier. Obviously the faster way is to do some perking right here. Okay. If you don't feel like that's working, the other technique is once you get down to the depth you want, perk it a couple times. If you don't get nothing, then you just shift reel back up to like 5 or whatever. Hit, open up your bail, let it sink back down again. And then that time we caught one on the drop. This is going to probably be a little non-marker sardine. For salary. There you go, non-marker sardine. So we're going to drop it to 20. Let's just try this for a few. We'll go to 20. If we don't get something by 20, we're just going to stop it. Okay, stop it. I'm going to perk it just to where I get the perking notification like that. Then I'm just going to shift reel it right back up to 5. And then hit open up it's enter for me to open up the reel there. I'm going to let it start dropping again. Again, nothing. I'm going to stop it at 20. Give it a couple bounces here. Again, just where I'm getting that notification. And you can catch them while you're doing this reel in even. So I'm going to let this one go all the way to we got something on the way down that time. But again, that's how you can avoid getting a cusk. I don't mind going to the bottom most of the time because you get those turbos and stuff down there as well. There are some bottom fish that I don't mind catching. And it's almost like I'd rather catch a shorthorn sculpin sometimes over a cusk just because I get tired of the cusk. But Again, when you're using a smaller setup, I don't expect nothing crazy, you know, but so this time we didn't get nothing. I'm just gonna, I clicked it at 30, but we already had a fish. We got one as soon as I clicked it. But just a very fast bite rate, you know. I've been recording 15 minutes. I've been fishing a little longer than that. I wasn't able to start recording right off the rip. I was having some technical issues, but I got those resolved. Okay, we got a spooler here. I am going to try to do infinite to see if I just want to keep an eye on it at first to see what I've got here. It's probably just a big safe, but it could be a cod. So I want to be careful. I don't want to break a rod or a reel here. So when you lock it, you don't want to red line it. It should be okay. But again, if you're not sure, I advise never to lock it. If you don't lock it, you're probably not going to break it. You could get spooled. You can always Alt-Tab and restart your computer or whatever. That's just a large safe. Not a trophy, but a big one. Big enough to, to give the normal setup here some fits. Let's stop it at 15 this time and do some bounces here. Guys, don't forget to make sure you subscribe to the channel. Hit that like button for that trophy. Doesn't cost you anything at all, and I really do appreciate it. If I can get a couple likes, it's amazing how many more views I will get. YouTube will recommend it to some viewers, and I get more views, and that'll usually get us some subscribers to the channel, so I do appreciate it. Also, guys, be on the lookout for IRL stuff if you're interested. My son and I are doing a father-son 2025 challenge. We're in Ohio, and I don't want to say there's not good fishing in Ohio. I don't want to say that at all, but I haven't really fished a lot since I was younger. We haven't fished really a lot. Last year we did, and we were kind of the first year really back into it. This year, we did do the contest last year, but it wasn't on the channel as the contest. It was, there was some IRL fishing on there, but I was having some recording issues and things. So this year we're trying to get it a little tighter. I'm just not good at. I'm not good at the technical stuff. I do apologize for that, but if you want to see a couple hours of uncut fishing, a dad and his kid out there, fighting to the death on trying to beat each other. There's a video one. He takes it seriously. I do not. It's just, we fished a whole year and you get it. Then the other one just buys dinner. So to me, it's a very friendly competition and an excuse for me to hang out with him, right? Because as a parent, when your kid gets a little older, they realize you're not as cool and they don't want to hang out with you as much. So, when they're 6, they think you're the coolest. They think you're Superman. So he takes it serious. He wants to beat the old man, which is good, because I've been fishing a lot longer than him. So if he can beat me, he's doing okay. We're not professionals by no means. Um, again, there's times we go, we just don't catch fish. It is what it is. But um, you guys can watch the video on how the points are scored, and then the goal is the week that we fish, there'll be some IRL fishing that week. You'll get to see him and I actually do the fishing. And then there'll be a recap video the day after the IRL fishing, and I'll go over the points and who's in the lead. Right now, he's winning. We've been battling weather this year already. We had Easter on a Sunday. Sundays is the day we have to go fishing because we're both guaranteed to be off. Even though I don't get home till 6:30, 7 in the morning on Sundays, that's the day we usually have to go because of our work schedules. So it's the one day we can coordinate. So, again, if you're interested, check that out. We are going to we do bank fishing some, but this year I did get the boat back out. I've been doing a lot of, the boat was sitting for 10 years again. Haven't fished for a while, so, trying to get everything up and running. New tires on the boat, completely stripped all the old wiring off, new wiring, painted the frame, had to renew the boat registration, the whole 9 yards. So, pretty excited about that. So, hopefully, we'll have some boat fishing soon. Here in Ohio, we got a fish that they're not all around the world. So, some largemouth bass fishing. Again, they're not as big as some of the states. Texas, Florida, California, they have bigger bass, but we have a lot of good fishing in Ohio. It's just us actually being able to catch them. So, we do a lot of carp fishing, IRL, mostly commons is what we end up catching. But again, so the carp fishing days are usually very exciting to me because I like when I can go and I have potential just getting my rod ripped in half, basically. Again, we're not professionals. I don't have, sometimes I'll be fishing with a smaller rod that's really made for a bass and hook into a big carp. It's like a challenge. But we did catch fish the last time we went out. The video's on the channel under the IRL playlist. So if you want to check it out, it's on there. We went after saugeye and walleye. Saugeye are related to the walleye family, but they're what we have locally here. If you want the walleye, really, Lake Erie's the place to go, but that's 2.5 hours away for us. So, around the state of Ohio, well, I don't know if it's the state of Ohio, but the Department of Natural Resources in the U.S. bred a sauger and a walleye together and made a saugeye. So they don't reproduce, but they're easily raised in hatcheries, and they're a little hardier, and they don't need as cold of water to survive like the walleye. So they're able to put them in more places for recreational fishing. So we did go after those this year. We caught some. So spoiler alert, no trophies. But, it was kind of cool because also a friend of ours, he's a friend of my son's now that my son's an adult, but it's a lifelong friend of mine. He didn't even know we were down there fishing. The spot that we were at was an hour and a half from our house and an hour from his house. And we live in opposite directions, and it was kind of cool because he had actually brought his two boys down to give his wife a break because they just had a daughter. So it was kind of cool because we ran into him down there while we were filming. And it just goes to remind you, this is a huge world, guys, but it's smaller than you think. And we're all connected. And it's amazing how you'll run into somebody, again, in the middle of nowhere, just because it's one of my favorite fishing spots. And him being my friend, it's also one of his favorite fishing spots. And he wasn't fishing that day, but he just wanted to take his boys somewhere, you know, to walk around again for an hour or so. They're small, but just amazing to me. You know, again, depending on your situation, you may not have a lot of people, you know, that you're close to or whatever. As adults, it gets harder. You know, everybody's schedule's the same. So, someone that I've known for I don't know 30, 35 years, to see them out randomly is pretty awesome. Somebody that I try to talk to at least weekly. Again, I don't get to see him as much, but we used to go fishing all the time. His older brother actually used to work for me. That's how we met when I met him. He worked at a pheasant farm where doctors pay to go, and there's a little kid in a box that releases the pheasants so the doctors can shoot them. Basically, anybody that's got the money that wants to pay for that, you know. If you want to go pheasant hunting without all the trouble and guaranteed to get at least shots at birds, you know. But we used to do a lot of fishing back then. I used to be so into IRL fishing that I would, if the weather was nice and the fish were biting, I might even call in sick just to go fishing. These days, I still love it, but I don't do it as much as I would like. And, you know, I try to be a little more responsible, but I'm not going to say that I would never call in to go fishing still, because if I felt like it was going to be slow at work and they could live without me for those 12 hours and my son was off and the weather was good, yeah, it wouldn't take much to get me to call in. Hope my boss doesn't watch these videos. I think he doesn't, so we should be good. He'll probably I probably tell him the same thing. When you get my age, you tend to speak a little more of your mind, unfortunately, and you do got to try to filter some stuff at work, but that's not always easy for me. Had one there for a second. I felt like it didn't say FGA, but it said I never really had them. So that was kind of a weird one. I know I've been talking a lot, guys, but one of the comments that I get is I don't talk enough. So again, comments are welcome. I will reply to all of them. You know, if you got tips for me, absolutely let me know. I'm level 40 this game. I've been playing a long time, but by no means am I the best at this game. I'm missing a lot of trophies. That's one of the things I'll probably do. Again, right now I'm just trying to get, you know, how do I get to 100K? It's just one, not spend, which when I came back to the sea, the first thing I did is I bought a Jigmeister 1000, I don't know, for 200 or 300 silver. I bought a couple big treble hooks for using dead mackerel setups. I bought some more attraction elements. So one of the first things I did when I came back was I spent about $1,200, almost 2,000 silver right off the rip. So now I've got to work on getting back. I've already got back past where I came here with, which was 17.5. But again, I need to basically, unless I lose a setup, which I don't want, I probably just jinxed myself because you can do that. Get a whole setup, bit off by a shark. But it's still early in the week too. We can always check to see if our salary trophy made it on a weekly. It probably didn't, but we can check it just for bragging rights. Unfortunately, non-marker there. So if you go to records and ratings, I like to look at the USA region, and we can go to weekly. Atlantic salary. We are number one currently. Here's my in-game name up here. We're number one currently. So there we go. Now, if that holds out, I think we'll get some silver for that. I'm not sure. It's also early in the week. It's only Tuesday here. The week's reset either Sunday or Monday. Saturday midnight, I'm not sure the exact time. I'm sure you can probably Google that and find that out. We're getting some of these little non-markers here. I probably need to stop going to the bottom. It's raining, so if I can get markers of those, I don't mind. But what we could probably do, just to break up the monotony there of getting all those non-markers, is I just stopped there at 15. I didn't even do anything and got one. So that's kind of what I'm looking for there. Those non-markers I want to turn into fillets. A little bigger than that would be better because the fillet size, I think you definitely get more fillets with the bigger ones. We can test that out later, but I think you can get more pieces out of the bigger ones. I know there's also, they got to be a certain size to get the large fillets. So let's go back here to the bottom. Now that we've broke up that monotony of getting non-markers, we'll get something a little bigger this time. Okay, let's go ahead and lock this dude. But yeah, guys, if you're doing good in certain spots, let me know. I've got a large boat rod now, a heavy boat rod that we really haven't done anything crazy with. Not sure what I got here. Might not be a bad thing. This might be a cod too, Atlantic cod or cusk. Those cusk fight like dogs, man. They can be rough getting them in, and then they're not even that big, and then they're not worth a lot of silver or XP, so it can be disappointing. Just a small cod there. Big for this setup, but not big at all, right, let's stop it at 20, blink, and then just fast reel right back in. Our energy is shot too. I don't know if the rain's messing up our flow here. We're not really getting stuff on the drop. Guys, also, and I know you guys probably get tired of hearing this, on the USA region, the absolute records, I'm still on here for the albino barbel out of Bear Lake there. That was in January. So, still holding on to that. It was funny because that weekly, for that week, it was a hot spot. I put a trophy out. Hopefully you got you one. Hopefully you're one of those two guys above me there. But at one point I had like the top 3 spots for the weeklies, which was kind of cool. Non-marker turbo. Alright, another little save. That one was probably decent because it's non-marker, but it's also a little larger. Ba-dum-bum-bum-bum-bum. And that's what we're trying to avoid. If we were catching a lot of those, again, we may not want to go all the way to the bottom. We have not been catching a lot of them thus far, but again, that could change pretty rapidly. Probably a little non-marker sardine here, or celery, something very small. There's a small marker celery. This rain does seem to kind of messed up some of our. I felt like we were getting better fish before the rain. Maybe not overall. I don't know. I mean, I think definitely so because we got a lot of non-markers after that. But can make it up for me by giving me a blue tag salary. Flying fish. Blink. Alright, another little safe. A little bigger sculpin. Still not going to be worth that much. Maybe a little more for that size, but something real small here. Maybe another sardine here. I don't think we've had a marker yet. Oh, no, no salary. Looks like the sun is coming up out there. I might go mess around on the boat today for a few hours. My son is working today. It's a Tuesday for me. You guys won't see this video for about over a week away, probably. I have to stay ahead on the recordings because during the work week I cannot do anything, usually. Alright, 13,000 XP. Where'd my bite rate go? Let's go. This is where the small fillet would probably help. It's getting dark. Fish are having trouble seeing it. There's nothing to smell on that hook. They can't tune in to that fish smell. Finally, Lord. Starting to get a little rough out here. Looks like it's kind of hard to see. Rainy and crappy. And this rod's got a big bend to it. Looks like it's about to break. What the hell? What do we got here? Okay. He did not want to come in, did it? Salary. Those salaries will add up. Obviously, the trophy is going to be worth a little bit, but as long as they're markers or if they're a little bigger than the minimum, obviously you don't want the minimum markers, but they will add up and you will make money for your trip if you can consistently get them. Something small here. Maybe a non-marker school open. It's a school open. Oh, nope. A fish I don't mind catching. If we can get some bigger ones of those, that'd be nice. I don't have the trophy. I don't know if it's on the trophy card, but we would take it. Alright, this should be a salary or a mackerel. We've been catching more salaries than other stuff. Oh, a little safe. Little tiny safe. That one may be one of those ones that's too small to make the large fillet, even. Alright, now we're starting to get the bite rate back up a little bit here. I've got a larger setup to throw out here, but I don't know how that would do in this 34. I think it's funny that it'll say succeeded, like what, I failed to drink tea? Come on, man. Does that mean you missed your lip? Just run down the front of you? That's what we're looking for. Let's throw out the other setup just once here for, as you can see, I'm on my last fillet. We can throw this out for just shits and giggles. I don't know what we will catch with this larger setup in the 34. Again, it's not something I would normally throw out here. But, I mean, there are cods here, there are dogfish here, spiny dogfish. There is a fillet, a large fillet for them to eat. Yeah, we may not get something on this. We may have to just reel it in and then throw the other one back out. The setup's bigger than they are. All right, let's go ahead. Oh, we have a lure that's broken, huh? Okay. Traction element. We wore it out. Guys, we'll probably go ahead and let this ticket expire and head back to see if we got any cafe orders or anything. Try to get one more fish here. Give us 50. Another sour. We got 10 minutes. Can we do it? 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3. I don't think we can do it. I'm going to go ahead and bring it in. Backspace. Back to the dock. We're going to cancel that and get kicked back. All right. Guys, don't forget again to make sure you hit that like button for that trophy and subscribe to the channel. Let's check the cafe. 4 pieces, 150. You just want to go by weight here. You don't want to use your trophy, obviously. That was 178. That's a fantastic order. Unfortunately, we didn't get a second cuss, which is kind of crazy, but we didn't get any eel pouts for that. No redfish. So 178. I usually go by price here. So the spiny dogfish was worth more than the trophy itself. So we're at 645 plus 178, which is 745, 820, 830 ish for the hour. It's a damn good hour, but we're not going to sell all of these because we're going to turn some of these into fillets. But these are not a lot of money, as you can see. We're actually going to even do these couple here. So let's sell those off, and then we're going to turn. So crafting, we're going to do let's do the one mackerel first. We're going to go to dead fish, and we're going to make this just a dead fish that we can throw out. Okay. I think we can do the same thing with some saiths if we want. So we can do a couple of these. Let's do the smallest ones. We'll do the smallest two just to get us a couple here. 1.6, 1.5, 1.1. Okay, that's still, in my opinion, a pretty decent sized fish, but we'll try those out. Make sure you hit that subscribe button. Check out the next video. We'll see how we do on those. We'll try those out. Now I want to go to fillet of saith, right? I want to do, let's do the smallest one first. Let's see how many fillets this gives us. I think these are just 2s only. Now we have nothing big enough. In order to get this, they got to be in the 800 to 1.5. So we had some that would have done that. I probably should have done that as well. But we're going to turn, and that's 2. But let's do, okay, these are all about the same size. Let's do a couple of these. I think that'll be 8 or 10. That was 10. This will be for the setup we were using. That gives us 20 of those. And then we'll go ahead and do, didn't need to click that. We'll go ahead and do a couple more of these. Guys, I appreciate you hanging out with me today. Until next time, have fun fishing. I am out of here.